Crossway family and the friends on internet. This is Pastor Ebenezer. I'm so excited today to begin a new part, maybe 4-part series or 3-part series called Small Things Matter. Today we are talking about the danger of drifting. And then drifting, as you can hear, it's just a slow progress backwards, mostly unaware. When you're drifting, you have no idea until there is a moment when you're like, boom, something big happens, and like, when did this happen? And sometimes you're aware, you feel slowly, but because of the steady slowness of falling back, it's not as alarming as it should be if it was something radical, big, that will jolt you. Okay? So we're going to read a couple verses, and I'll tell you one story, and then you'll see what God is probably telling you today. And if this video helps you, share it with friends, and I would appreciate. This is a message for not only for you, it's a message for me. So nobody is excluded from this message. So Hebrews chapter 2, here's what it says. We must pay the most careful attention, therefore, to what we have heard, so that we do not drift away. Self-explanatory. You have to keep reminding yourself. Pay attention to the instruction of the scriptures, instruction of what God is teaching us, so that we can continue to stay the course. So we are not drifting away. By the way, there's nothing as staying still from one place. You're either moving forward or going backwards. So that's the scripture for us today. Here's the story. In the Judges, the book of Judges, we are introduced to this character of somebody called Samson. So Samson, before was born, prophesied to be the defender of the people of God, and he grew up and he had an extraordinary strength. And one day he decided to marry into the enemy, and so he got a wife, and then one thing leads to the other. He lost the wife and gets so upset, and somewhere in the scripture says that from that time he said, I'm gonna make sure that I avenge myself. So the person who's supposed to be a defender, supposed to hear what God says and do what he says, now he's actually becoming the aggressor. For some reason, they deserved it. The story that could go either way. But from that time, he begins to do things specifically in the chapter 16, where we see that one day he decided to go and stay in a house of a prostitute. Red flag. But he, confident of himself, went there, no untouchable. And then the story actually progresses when this Delilah started asking him, what can subdue you? The first, he's just gonna fix it and gives her a wrong, and then say, tie me this way, and then she does that. As soon as she says, the Philistines are upon you, Samson woke up and broke everything loose, and then she did that many times, a couple times, until he broke the secret of his strength. Delilah calls somebody, comes, shaves the hair, and all of a sudden his strength has been lifted, and he was becoming now incapable of fighting. That's called drifting, slowly. Here's verse 20. This is where it's very a warning and scary. It says, but he did not realize that the Lord had left him. That's so bad. That's so scary that he didn't even know when the Lord had left him. So 3 things that I want to just point out, that in our everyday life, in our just normal life, 3 things that will start to cause that kind of drift away. One is just being busy. There is no soul care. You're waking up to the grind, morning to evening, tired, no time to socialize, no time to spend time in the Word, no time, and on and on. and then it's like a train. You have a momentum, you're going, if everything seems to be okay, nothing is a problem until the slow started to slow, it starts to slow, and all of a sudden your life halts, and like, I don't feel God the way I used to feel God. I don't feel strength, I don't feel your mental health deteriorates, and now you're sick, and so many things start happening. That's one way. So second way is when we dab into sinful things. So this is what we call the things of the flesh. Whether you're starting to watch things that are not edifying, whether you're starting to feed the flesh, you're hanging out with the people, the wrong people, whether you're pain medicating yourself with some substance, and then all of a sudden, slowly, your life is drained from you. And that's self-explanatory. Mostly we've been very much aware of that, but something like being busy, sometimes we feel proud of ourselves being busy, but yes, carnal things of the flesh will just get you there. The other thing is familiarity. You're aware of things, you come to church, and you know the songs people sing, you know the word. In some tradition, Christian tradition, you know the words that the minister is going to say. You can repeat, you can even play to be a minister at some time, because you've read it about, oh yeah, I know the story of Jesus, and and you forget that when you reread, that's a beautiful thing that happens. God speaks to you, and when God speaks to you, it speaks to you differently from last time. When you commune with God in worship, is not the same as last week. Anyway, I can go on, but those are three things that I want to just mention. So the big point is that look at yourself where you are right now. So the problem is not the present location where you are. You can be confused. You can be like, oh, I hate my life right now. I want you to point you to 1 second ago, before this video began, or 2 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, 12 miles from the steps where you are, a year ago, or a month ago. What are some of the things that have gotten you to that place? Those small things, and then you will start to understand. So that will be a diagnosis of where you are. And then I'll see you in the next video talking about small things now, more so, and how to move forward. God bless you, and see you soon.